Welcome to our next episode of CriChatter. Today we're going to discuss regarding the current Nepal performance. They have already qualified to the qualifier of the World Cup that is going to be held later this year. To discuss this all, the way the Nepal has performed and how they're gonna go forward, I'm joined by one of the cricket follower, Sanjay. Will be discussing regarding all those queries. So welcome, Sanjay, to the show. He's joining from Nepal, so I just wanna welcome you.
Thank you very much, Prabin. It's a pleasure always talking to you about the game.
Yeah, the way the Nepal played, Sanjay, what a fantastic day was to just to start with the day that belongs lot of people that belongs to a lot of people, more than 2 crore people, more than 3 crore population of Nepal, and the emotion they carried to the field. Just I witnessed yesterday, I got the news that the players, the fans who were following the players, they were on the ground at 4 o'clock early in the morning. So what does this win mean to Nepal and Nepali people right there in Kathmandu?
To be precise, it was a very bold win, to be honest, because as UAE had nothing to lose, they brought their best game on the field. As we can see, the innings by Asif Khan, Mohammad Wasim, and especially by Britya Orvin, they set up a pretty big total for Nepal. But the team was capable to chase down, all thanks to the DLS method as well. In accordance to the fans, it was a pretty important match, to be honest, because winning this game would take us to the World Cup qualifiers, and who knows, we could end up in the main draw of World Cup as well. So, as we can say, that this game sits right at the top when we talk about the emotions, the amount of fans, the images that has been growing all around the world, be it the official pages of ICC has shown that the craze for Nepalese cricket in the world is pretty high, as we can speak about that.
Yeah, the what a emotion day, isn't it? The people were really emotional, the player were emotional, and to win, to go to the qualifier to Zimbabwe, because we know the Nepalese cricket where they came from, and to go to the qualifier directly to the Zimbabwe, I think this should be considered as one of the great achievement. What do you reckon of that?
Yeah, exactly. It is one of the greatest achievement in the history of Nepalese cricket, because we have already played the 2014 T20 World Cup, as you can see. But something of a 50 over World Cup is a big dream for every one of us. Be it you, be it me, and be everyone, every Nepalese cricket fan all around the globe. They want to see Nepal grow, and one of the biggest reason has been the new age captain in Rohit Kumar Paudel, and especially our new coach, Monty Desai. He has changed the way Nepalese team tends to play cricket. This they will be written in history when we talk about sports in general. Not only in cricket, but overall Nepalese sport, this particular day will be written right at the top, from the fans standpoint, from the past players standpoint, and even the players who played in the game, in the 11 or even the 15, it will be one of the most important days of our lives, I believe, in the sports fraternity, my friend.
Yeah, Sanjay, and I'll talk about Rohit later on. But if we talk about the match yesterday, the way UAE won the toss, it was a flat pitch. It's gonna be a lot of pitch, and the way Nepal bowled, they bowled beautifully till over. But after 43rd over, the UAE batsmen smashed them all over the park, and I think there was the shift in momentum for UAE because UAE were getting ahead in the match, and do you think, personally, I just want to ask you, do you have the hope that the Nepal will chase down that 311 target going to the second half of the match? What do you reckon?
To be absolutely honest with you, half of the Nepalese population didn't think they will chase the 311 total, to be honest, because we haven't done that in the past. We
Yeah.
haven't chased 60 to 70 to 80 with frequent ease, but as they say, it is always the first time. So we played pretty well, and looking at the game condition as well, we lost 3 important wickets right at the top, but still we went on to chase the target, all thanks to our younger players. Starting with Kusal Bhutel and Mohammad Arif Sheikh and Gulshan Jha. It was a bold move to play Gulshan Jha at that standpoint, and he went on to prove why he's an important player. And funny side of it is, we went on to win the match by the mistakes of UAE players. We were trying to eat up the game by consuming more time, but it was due to the DLS method that we turned out to be victorious at the end.
Yeah, that was a great legend. But 311 on the board. I think UAE slightly they have the nose ahead on the match, and then Nepal losing those crucial 2 wickets. First, they lost couple of wickets in the first 2 to 3 overs, and they lost our captain Rohit as well. The fantastic catch taken by the UAE captain, and then to get back in the game, I think it was a very difficult task, isn't it? Chasing 311, where it doesn't matter, if you bat in a flat wicket or wherever you bat, losing those 3 top wickets and to get back in the game is a difficult task, isn't it? But the way Kushal Bhurtel batted, I think, for me personally, Sanjay, I think the Kushal Bhurtel inning was the match-turning event, I reckon. But what do you make of it, the way he batted yesterday?
Since the introduction of Monty Desai into the coaching fraternity, we can see that Kushal Bhurtel is playing more responsibly. In the past, he used to throw away his wicket by playing some rash shots, But in the present scenario, he tends to take the game deep. He tends to play shots. He is more confident about. There is no doubt about the talent he possesses. He has a massive talent to go further. Not only Kushal Bhurtel, but every Nepalese player has some massive talent moving forward. But Kushal Bhurtel gave that impetus to the inning. At the start of the innings, he made 50 out of 42 balls. That provided a tempo and a momentum to Nepal, which in the end worked well for the Nepalese team. They went on to chase the game one run by a run, and in the end, time was on their side, and they went on to win the game, which was a pretty good achievement, I have to say.
Yeah, and the way after Kushal Bhurtel dismissal as well as the way the Saki just anchored the inning, isn't it, with the Gulshan Jha, and even with Kushal Bhurtel, the partnership they made in between, I think that brought Nepal back in the game, and the way they just finished. I think many people will not be happy. Maybe UAE will be not happy the way the match finished. Maybe even we want as a cricket fan the whole 50 overs. Maybe Nepal will have gone across the line, even if it's 50 over match. But I think it's quite disappointing for UAE fans, UAE players, that they didn't get 50 overs on the ground. What do you make of that?
But I believe it depends upon UAE. They took 4 hours and 32 minutes to bowl the 44 overs, which is a pretty big time. A stipulated innings tends to go to 3.5 hours if you want to complete the whole innings. But UAE had themselves to blame when you look at in the end. Time has been their enemy. To bowl the last 6 overs, they went on to take more than 43 minutes, which is not a good sign. So ICC had to step in. So I feel Nepal are the deserving winners. Winning 11 out of 12 games is not an easy task in home and away conditions. So I feel UAE will have to blame themselves, but they have another chance in the Challenger series. They will play in 10 days time. They will have another chance to rewrite history, but I have to say Nepal deserved it every bit.
Yeah, and I just want to talk a bit about the way Saki inning as well, the way he anchored those innings. He didn't play the risky shot, he just rooted the strike. I think that inning as well will give a lot of confidence to Saki going ahead in this qualifier. What do you reckon of? What do you make of it, the inning of Saki?
When you look at the career of Bhim Saki, he has only played 9 games, and that is so intriguing to see that an individual 9-game old has such a maturity to take the innings forward. He went on to play such a matured inning. When the risk was needed to be taken, he struck a 4, he hit a rebound shot, he hit a pull shot, he hit everything. He has every shot in his drop cutter, which can be pretty important going forward. The best part about this Nepalese team is they all have youngsters in their team. They will learn. With more exposure, they will learn, they will grow forward. But Bhim Saki looks a player for the future, not for only present, but he looks a player for the future with the class he shown yesterday in such pressure conditions. It's very important to say that Nepal has a very bright future. If they go on climbing one step at a time, they will have something pretty big in future.
Yeah, and I just want to talk regarding the Gulshan Jha inning as well, the way he batted and he stayed till the end. Remember, the match over, Nepal won by DLS, but he was staying from one end. He was just anchoring the inning from one end as well. I think that inning at that age, I think this will be another confident booster for Gulshan Jha going ahead to Zimbabwe. What do you make of it?
Yeah, exactly. When Gulshan Jha came into the bat, the game was in a knife phase, Nepal was pretty behind on the DLS method, but at 1 over from Mohammad Wazim, where he smashed 20 runs, that 1 over went on to change his momentum and also the DLS momentum towards us, Gulshan Jha looks a very good player, but he will have to improve on his bowling side. He plays more as a bowler rather than a batsman. So his bowling needs to take a bit of more improvement, but it will come with time. He's mere 17 years old. He has time on his side, but will have to improve on his bowling. Talking about batting, he has that left-hander elegance. He can hit those big sixes. He can play those drives, no matter spin bowling or fast. He knows how to play the game and the condition for a 17-year-old. That seems to be a pretty good. He has a pretty good head on his shoulders, So the future looks good for Nepal overall. From every player, the future looks pretty good.
Yeah, one more thing I just want to pick, like Gulshan Jha he just got that momentum in 1 over, but before that he was struggling to even to rotate the strike. He was not connecting the ball well, leaving the ball well. I think even the downfall of Sarki was because of Gulshan Jha, I reckon, because of the required rate mounting up, and the Gulshan Jha was not able to rotate the strike. But I think the way that 1 over, as you mentioned, that 1 over just completely changed the momentum and the DLS equation that bringing taking the match in the favor of Nepal. I think that 1 over. I think just changed the complexion of this match. What do you reckon?
Yeah, exactly. At the start of the innings, Gulshan Jha wasn't able to rotate strike. He was finding it pretty hard to play the pace bowlers. Be it Junaid Siddiqui, Zaur Khan, Hazrat Bilal. He wasn't able to rotate the strike. But when the spinners or the part-time bowlers came into action, he started to smash them, all around the pack. Especially cow corner seems to be his favorite zone. So that one part-time bowler over went on to change the momentum for him. He's a pretty good prospect when you look about it. We have not been able to bring out a fast bowling all-rounder in Nepal for a very long time. Karan Kishis and Sompal Kami are there, but the batting exploit aren't that good when you talk about it. So if we can groom Gulshan Jha well, he can be a very good prospect for Nepal, in the fast bowling all-rounder department.
Yeah, it was a great decision. The batsman did the job, but we should not take anything away from the leadership of Rohit as well. The way he captained his side, standing throughout the tournament, and the way he led. I think the one important thing about Rohit is his composure, his calmness, and the way he plays cricket. Even yesterday when he came out to bat, he was striking the boundary. I think that's the major tempo that is setting in the dressing room of Nepal, that they can do whatever they want. What do you make of it? Because the way the Rohit is leading the side, as you said, the Munti Desai, emerging leader in the camp of Nepal. So I think these two gentlemen are really telling that they can do whatever they can. The way they are playing the cricket, they are fearless. They take right decision at the right time. The head of Rohit is calm, is more composed. One of the mature cricketer going on.
When you look about it, Rohit Kumar Paudel is just 20 years old, He's just mere 20 years old. So for a 20 years old being a leader of a side with all the youngsters, because yesterday Gyanendra Moller didn't play, Karan Kesi didn't play, they were not in the team, and everybody was around 20, 25, 27 years old. So that shows the cool head he has on his mind, And for a 20-year-old to gain all the respect, from all the players, from the coaching staff, from the management, for a 20 years old, it is a pretty commendable job he has done. He has led the side pretty well, not only with the captaincy on the field, with the bat, and at times with the ball as well. We should not neglect the side of his bowling as well. He can do that as well, but more so as a leader and more as a batsman, he has done a pretty good job, And for a 20 years old, I feel he will captain this side for a very long time if you look into it.
Yeah, and the way whatever happened in Nepalese cricket, it has been really bad phase last couple of even last 6 months, because of a lot of things happening back behind the field of cricket. We all know what happened to Sandeep as well. So seeing that and Nepal getting this achievement, I think this will relieve the lot of people and will give a lot of happiness to the crowd as well as to the lot of Nepalese people, isn't it?
Exactly. Nepalese cricket has not gone a very good road, At times it has been down and out. When we look at the first phase of World Cricket League 2, Nepal was in no place to qualify, But since the appointment of Monty Desai and Rohit Kumar Paudel into the management and captaincy team, things have changed pretty quick, and which is a pretty good sign to talk about,
Yeah, and one more about Rohit as well. That especially reminds me of like MS Dhoni, isn't it? Because he was thrown a captaincy going to South Africa in 2007. He was young. He never captained a side. He was very young, MS Dhoni, and then I see the leadership skill relating to Rohit, isn't it? The way they lead the side, very composed. Dhoni was very composed, calm, and I see a little bit hint, between the two people, between the two individuals. There is something relation between Dhoni and Rohit. I can definitely say Dhoni is far ahead than Rohit, but I still see little of glimpse on Rohit. What do you make of it?
Yeah, exactly. Rohit seems to be a very calm individual. He doesn't get phased away by all the pressure that comes along his way, similar to Dhoni. But with more of the exposure, things can change in near future. Who knows? He might be better than any Nepalese captain that the country has seen. Talking about Nepalese cricket history, Paras Kharka has been an important part of the map. He has been the one who we have to look. But prior to him and following him, Rohit Kumar Paul is one captain who has done a pretty good job. Prior to Rohit Kumar Paul, also there has been more captains like Sandeep Lamichhane has done the job. Sompal Kami has done the job in some games, I believe, and that Gyanendra Pandya has done the job as well. But the stability, the calm, the composed nature, the ability to take the team forward with you, that has been lacking in Nepalese cricket. But Rohit Kumar Paul has
I want. I also want to add one more thing: the fearlessness. He's completely fearless. The Rohit as well, the way he bat, and I think that's what required. Because as a batsman, as a side, you need to play some attacking cricket as well, to make sure you put the opposition in the pressure. So that's one of the great strength of Rohit as well. So now Sanjay going to Zimbabwe now. Nepal will travel to Zimbabwe for the qualifier. How excited are you? And what Nepal need to do the right in Zimbabwe in order to take the flight to India? So what are your thoughts on this?
Prabin, the flight to India is pretty far away at the moment when you talk about it, but we have to be positive. We have to take one day at a time, one game at a time. The qualifier in Zimbabwe is generally soon, I believe. So looking at the conditions, it will favor the spinners more. So Nepal will be highly dependent on the spinners. The game, I believe, will be played in Harare and Bulawayo. So the pitches will be condemned to Tribhuvan University pitch, similar to Kritipur. The ground is small, the spin will play a major role, but Nepal has a lot of concerns, lot of concerns start with the death bowling. The death bowling of Nepal isn't too good when you talk about it. Playing against the test nation, test bowling is death bowling is a very important aspect, I believe. So Nepal has to take a good control over that. In the last 6 overs yesterday as well, we gave away 102 runs, which is pretty huge number. 102 runs can be game defining bowling attributes. So Nepal will have to look into some good death bowlers. One name that strikes my mind is Avinash Bora.
Yeah,
you will have to come forward.
Yeah, yesterday was escape, isn't it? You have to call it escape, because one or two 6 over, the momentum was completely to UAE. It was an escape for Nepal and Nepalese cricket. Otherwise, I think the fans will be on tears. It won't be that much emotional going ahead to Zimbabwe. But what a fantastic achievement by Nepal heading to Zimbabwe. And playing the Test nation, as you mentioned, they will play with South Africa. They will play West Indies. This is a great moment, isn't it? For as a cricket fan, as a country, you are representing a Test nation. So this is a great moment for Nepal and Nepalese people.
Yes, it's a huge moment, to be honest with you, because we'll be playing some of the bigger test nations. It will not be on a regular basis. It's a rare phenomenon, and we are playing against a good test nation on a bigger scale, and
biggest stage, I have to call it a biggest stage. You'll be having a 32 to 35 cameras on the field. You have got Hawkeye, you have got sneakometer, you have got audience for all the technology being used. I think, and the people who will be getting the exposure of this will be in a million number. So this is the biggest exposure for Nepalese cricket going ahead to Zimbabwe.
Exactly. And the pressure might get into the players as well. They have to stay calm, and playing in front of such a big stage can be challenging at times. So they will have to take one game at a time. And Nepal will have to work on their batting as well on some front, but they have time. They will work on it. The coach camp, the player development camp will be an important aspect when it talk about it. So death bowling and batting will be a major concern. We won't have to worry too much about the spinners. We have the quality spinners worldwide. We have the quality spinners, so that won't be a concern. Zimbabwe will shoot the spin bowling, I believe. So we will be on a good state, but the mentality, the ability to win will be an important factor to consider, my friend.
Yeah, that is definitely. One more thing, Sanjay, before I let you go, I just want to talk about the team combination. Do you see any slight changes going ahead to Zimbabwe, or will the core of the team remain the very same? What do you reckon of that?
I personally believe the team that played yesterday is a pretty good team. But one change I would like to see will be Avinash Bohra, especially for the death bowling. He has a slingy action and pretty good yorkers. Team who haven't played such slingy actions can find it hard. So Avinash Bohra will be one change, and I don't see any more changes than that. Why break something when it's not broken? Why make something when it's not broken? Like Nepal is a winning front, so we will have to play with the same team. They are a pretty good team. But the main problem is in the mentality. How they will fare against a pretty big size that play the game. One especially Avinash Bohra I see, and Avinash Bohra in the place of I believe Gulshan Jha will be a better option, because other players are there to make an impact. So in place of Gulshan Jha, I believe, and another factor being Gyanendra Molla needs to play for the team, because he is the most senior player of the team. So the experience he brings to the table will be important. Nepal will have to find a way to fit him in, because all the youngster, and if a certain amount of pressure comes in, the youngster won't be able to cope with that pressure. In that case, you will need a senior statesman, and who better than Gyanendra Molla in that case. So I believe Nepal will have to find a way, and Gyanendra Molla will have to find some form if he wants to play in the 11.
Yeah, Gyanendra Molla is out of form, and that's the worrying sign at the moment for Nepal. Expect the death bowling, so they have to find their way if they have to battle out in Zimbabwe. One more thing to let you go. What's the atmosphere be like this morning, Nepal? Like media and how they're reacting the win of this Nepalese cricket.
To be honest, the Nepalese fans are still in shock, that we have qualified for Zimbabwe, and there is a certain sense of satisfaction or certain sense of achievement. But the fans haven't flown too ahead, They believe that we can make it to India as well. The trip, what we have to stay level-headed and in the present, So we have celebrated the win yesterday, which is a pretty good aspect, but we need to focus more on what next, What can we do? So the fans have been a bit level-headed. They have not been blown away by the emotions. They were yesterday. There is no doubt about it. But looking today, things have come to a normality, and we have some time to make some impact in Zimbabwe, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjay, for joining today. Thank you for your thoughts. It's always a pleasure talking to you about the cricket, and it's been one of the historical day for Nepalese cricket, and we hope that Nepal will continue to get better in Zimbabwe as well. We'll feature you in upcoming episode as well. Thank you for your time, my friend, and we'll see you very soon next time. Thank you.
It's my pleasure, friend. Always good talking to you. Hope we will have a ticket to India as well. The flight might take us to India as well in the near future, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks, man. Thank you.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.